Privyet, Druzy, Wes O'Donnell here, veteran defense analyst and speaker of the Russian language. And today we're asking, who let the dogs out? Well, apparently it was Ukraine. Now Ukraine is planning to let loose packs of robot dogs against the invading Russian military, at least according to the France press agency. The robot dogs will be used to detect landmines, go on reconnaissance missions, to scope out the enemy in hostile territory, and carry weapons, ammunition, and medicine to the battlefield. But first, when you hit subscribe or like on this video, it sends a signal to the platform overlords that this information is popular, and it helps get it out to more people. Will you subscribe? Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Subscribe if you want to. This should come as no surprise to my longtime subscribers, but I'm kind of a big fan of technology on the battlefield. After all, I served in the US military during a time of technology transition, from M16s to M4s, iron sights to red dots, second generation night vision to third generation night vision, and Humvees to MRAPs to better protect against improvised explosive devices, all during my decade on active duty. But I never got to play with robots. To be honest, I'm captivated by the robot dogs often publicized by Boston Dynamics or fictionally in Black Mirror and the game Battlefield 2042. Imagine that the average American infantryman carries roughly 68 pounds on his or her back every time they deploy. Helmet, uniform, boots, armor, weapons, ammunition, food, canteens, compass, first aid kit, 10 pairs of dry socks, baby wipes, thank me later, and much more. During combat missions, the weight can increase to as much as 120 pounds, especially for machine gunners or ammo bearers. What if we had a four-legged robot pal to offload the burden onto? But beyond using robot dogs as a beast of burden, there are other incredible benefits. Like real dogs, they can aid in hunting, alert troops to danger, and provide operational level support to Ukrainian soldiers. Ukraine's robot dogs represent the first known combat deployment of such machines. According to a piece published by the German tabloid newspaper Bild, misleadingly headlined "Robot Dogs Sniff Out Russian Soldiers," the British company Brit Alliance has supplied 30 of the dogs to Ukraine. The Bild piece states that the robots explore inside buildings, trenches, and overgrown woodland areas where aerial drones just can't go. They are currently being used to locate booby traps and to find Russian forces. But unlike real dogs, these robot dogs do not actually have sniffing sensors. Video of Ukrainian operations in the Donetsk region shows the robot dogs covered by a camouflage blanket made by German suppliers Concamo, which makes it difficult to detect both visually and with thermal imaging. As soon as the robot stops moving, it merges into the background vegetation, like the predator. What's more, the data held on the robot dogs can be remotely and instantly erased if one of them happens to fall into Russian hands. So I did some sleuthing on the supplier Brit Alliance, and it turns out that they're not actually a robot manufacturer, but they're a security company. So where are Ukraine's robot dogs coming from? After doing some good old-fashioned image comparisons, it appears that Ukraine's dogs are Chinese-made Unitree Go2 Pros, which could be viewed as the doggo equivalent of Chinese-made DJI quadcopters, moderate quality, high-spec machines available in large quantities at a low cost. So, is this just a fancy toy or a useful squad companion? Well, after reading through all of Unitree's spec sheets and sifting through their technical manuals, I can tell you that this robot dog does have some real-world military applications. At first, all I saw were promotional videos of the Chinese dog doing tricks. It took a while to start to translate some of the robot's capabilities into combat capabilities. But when it comes to battlefield scouting, robot dogs offer distinct advantages over smaller, faster aerial drones. While some specialized drones with shrouded rotors can operate indoors, they remain rare, and navigating confined spaces is inherently challenging. Robot dogs, on the other hand, can seamlessly explore indoor environments, search homes and bunkers, and even traverse trench systems ahead of ground troops, providing crucial reconnaissance. The Go2 Pro dog has the ability for L1 LiDAR mapping with a dedicated app, so a Ukrainian soldier could construct a point cloud map within a certain area and specify a path for the Go2 to move autonomously. Robot dogs can also mitigate the threat of hidden dangers. Aerial drones typically soar over tripwires, pressure plates, and other booby traps, leaving them undisturbed for Ukrainian soldiers to stumble upon. But a robot dog can trigger these hazards, ensuring a clear path for soldiers following behind. If the robot encounters a mine or a trap, it's a simple matter to repair or replace the robot, far less costly and infinitely safer than risking human lives. Interestingly, troops often develop a strong attachment to these machines. In Iraq, bomb disposal teams working with the less aesthetically pleasing iRobot tracked EOD bot were known to insist on repairs for their loyal robot rather than accept a replacement. Reports have even noted that operators were becoming dangerously attached to their robots, treating them more like pets than tools. Now, these robotic dogs offer other tactical benefits as well. One significant advantage is their ability to carry payloads. The Unitree Go2 Pro, for example, can transport up to 9 pounds. Now, in Ukraine, images have surfaced showing a robot dog equipped with an unspecified payload, which could be anything from sensors to demolition charges or even essential supplies. Unlike wheeled or tracked robots, these legged machines can access locations that would be otherwise unreachable. According to the tech details I acquired, the Go2 Pro can climb a 40-degree angle. The Go2 Pro can also be fitted with a robotic arm, although this feature hasn't been observed yet in Ukrainian deployments. Such an arm would be invaluable for tasks like opening doors, disposing of bombs, or performing other intricate operations. Also, the robot's extended battery life allows it to remain on station for long periods, potentially lying in wait to monitor enemy activity or participate in ambushes. In the US, actual military quadrupeds are in service right now. Ghost Robotics machines are already patrolling US Air Force bases, functioning as mobile surveillance units. Some versions are more combat-oriented. In 2021, for instance, Ghost Robotics unveiled a model armed with a remotely operated sniper rifle. And last year, the US Marine Corps tested the same robot with an M72 anti-tank rocket launcher. So these new robot companions are here to stay. Like other battlefield firsts attributed to Ukraine, like FPV drones and Frankensams, the embattled country is now leading the way with actual robots on the battlefield. There is a certain primal terror that surfaces when I think about being hunted by a machine. I wonder how the Russian invaders will respond when they encounter Ukraine's new battlefield companions. We might soon find out, because Ukraine just let the dogs out. That's it. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Slava Ukraini.